Hello, Anne Spencer here, and welcome to my channel. And in this round, trying to understand the psychology of our behaviour. Sounds a bit deep, but it's very interesting. See where we go with that. Yeah, well, so many different things happening, certainly for me. How have you been emotionally? I was thinking when I'm sort of reaching that stage of, getting a little bit anxious, as I say, and then you're wondering, where is it going? Because I'm still furloughed and what have you. So, those feelings, those emotions, they're a result of an experience, right? Whatever experience you might be having or have had and you remember it, whatever. The question is, how long do you hold on to it, yeah? Don't want to revisit, of course we don't, but it's what we do. We kind of look for a reason to do it because it's our identity. That's how we identify ourselves. Odd, blooming strange, but true. So I was looking around, as you do, and I came across this book called The Act of Will by, wait for this, Roberto Assagioli. I think that's right because I've never written that down. He was one of those modern masters, the masters of modern psychology in the days of Carl Jung and Abraham Maslow and Freud and all those people that we've all heard of, I think. Well, with a name like Assagioli, it's got to be Italian, isn't it? Very classy, the Italians. Lovely. Anyway, over many years studying human nature, he, just before his death actually in 1974, he developed a comprehensive psychology known as psychosynthesis. Not easy for me to say. But this research is where, to quote, he saw man as tending naturally towards harmony within himself and with the world. And if you think about it, if you really think about it, how good is that? Yeah. Because that emotion that we hold on to, well, that brings up a group of feelings that come to the fore that we might not really like. They might not be making us feel all that good. So what he's saying is we can change that like a computer. We can download a new program or something, and the result will be mental freedom. I mean, how good does that sound, guys? Let's go for some of that. I know I will. And we can do it. It can be done. So go with the flow, if you like, doing this. The flow. The Chinese call that the Tao. Going with the flow. Just thinking or remembering as new things come into our lives, the old is left behind. That's the way our lives are, or that's why our lives are in constant state of becoming, It's within our own bodies as well. We're all in this continuous state of transformation and movement. And every now and then you might want to reflect on this and just take time to breathe with nice inhalations. Yeah, well, it's easier said than done, you think, but if you're doing 10 minutes every morning, it gets so much easier. Take a moment just to breathe, hear yourself breathe, because without it, you ain't going to be doing too much. If you're feeling lonely, especially if you're in a crowd, breathe in your connection, that connection with the web of your life, your own personal little web, like a spider. When you see those spiders in their own little circle web, imagine you've got that. You can't see it, but you've got it, and you do. And that's important to you. No one else can see it because it's yours. And there's no greater comfort in those darker moments, like I say, that can happen in our lives than knowing that it will transform. And in this age today, as COVID 2020 goes on and we're coming out of different stages of lockdown, just remember that. Just breathe them out and breathe in a new experience. Well, it's natural. It's instinct to move toward harmony. That's nice to know that. It really is. And it's a key part of your vision for living well. And I love that. Don't neglect your thoughts. That's one thing. Try and remember that. That wee head on top of your body. Don't neglect it. Change is something that happens. It always has done. That's the one thing that doesn't change is change. There's the paradox once again. But don't fear it, is what I mean. Embrace it. It's not something to panic about. It's all good moving forward. And adventure is what we want after all, isn't it? I would say. So no change, no adventure. Oh yeah. Note to self. No change, no adventure. We want one, don't we? I do. And, also that way we can kind of make logic of it, if you like, but mainly build up belief that what we're doing can make lasting change in our lives. And having that belief ongoing each day when things get really a bit tetchy, if you know what I mean, and they can. And that's what I like. That's what I really like, that belief. Well, there we have it. That was a little psychology from Dr. Asagioli. My pronunciation has improved somewhat. Helping us with the whole, or maybe just a little, the whole understanding of our minds, if that's possible. Well, it is possible, isn't it? Otherwise we wouldn't be doing it. But also touching a little on the science of developing ourselves. And why not, I ask you? Although next time we can maybe go further into the science on a lighter perspective, though, nothing too intricate, just to know the basics helps us sort of to better explore just that little bit more. Supports our belief for a positive change, and that's what it's all about. And that really helps us understand the importance of the change as well. Let's face it, the more you know, absolutely. Well, if you enjoyed this, thumbs up, subscribe, and if you fancy a little bit more light on this subject, head over to my YouTube channel, Anne Spencer Wellbeing. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.